time for a children's story.
Two more, aren't we? Now the family's complete here. Good to see you guys. Well, where were we at? What country are we in? Very good. And what just happened last week? Because they don't know.
They dig the place and go to school.
That's right. And that ditch came from, who put that ditch in the middle of a field and there was no tracks or nothing, was there? God did, didn't he? Yes, yeah. And then they started their school. And how did it go? Did the crops go bad or did the crops go good?
Good.
They went good. Nobody was sick for the whole school year. Wasn't that neat? Now we're going to continue on with our story. And they're still in Australia. And Sister White has her own house. And her son Willie and his wife and two girls. And they had twins. And they're all living there too. So it's going to take off that because they were going to college there, and of course their oldest one's name was? Ella. And what did Ella do as she got older? She wrote a book, didn't she? Do you guys have this book at home?
Yeah.
They don't, so they're going to borrow this book when I finish using it. In a few more weeks we'll be done with our story. Oh, what will we do? But anyway, Ella, she was the oldest of Willie's children. And they did something there at college. They had to work. Oh, Gary, remember when we went to the academy? We had to work, didn't we, to help Mom and Dad out. Riley, do you have to work when you go to school? Yes. Yeah, and I bet Adolpha has to work too, doesn't he? Yeah, I did too. But you do that because you want to help your parents out, right? Because it's expensive. So what they did their schooling in the afternoon and the evening. So Ella had to go to school because she was 14 years old. She had to go late in the evening because all the students were working in the morning. And that's why we like helping Adolpha out and we like helping Riley out because they're our family, because it costs a lot of money to go to school, doesn't it? So we do what we can help out, and soon you'll be going and we'll have to help you out. And, you know, it's just, that's the way us older people can help get the message out, is help with the children, isn't it? Well, anyway, Ella went to school, and she came home in the afternoon, and she's like, she was happy, and she told him what she learned. It was late evening, probably when she got in. And they talked and had probably had their family worship whenever, but she went up to pray. And she got her nights on, and she was kneeling, and she was ready to talk to the Lord. But she was on her knees for a long time this time. She just didn't feel quite excited with the Lord. Don't you some days feel more like a vitamin B shot kind of hit you, you know, and you really feel good about it? And then some days you're like, oh, I don't know if the Lord's hearing my prayers or not. I know adults do this way, but I remember there was a lady that just got baptized. She's still on fire when she came up, aren't you, Corrine? I mean, you can't hide it when you've been baptized. You just can't hide it under a bushel. When I was rebaptized 20 years ago, I was like, whoa, this is great, boy. This is really better than anything you could do. It feels good. But she was kind of down. And even though her grandma was Ellen White, she still had her down days. So she prayed and prayed for a long time. And she went to sleep, and she was still just praying and praying, you know. Somebody's got to help me here. And she knew that her grandma wrote special letters to heads of general conferences, all kinds of ministers, colleges, sanitariums, call porters, Anybody that needed, she would write instructions. But she did write some instructions to who? Children. She did write some to children. Not as loud as she did adults, because I guess we need it more than you guys do or something. But anyway, that's just the way it happens sometimes. But she did write. So Ella was there, and she was crying, and the tears were coming down her cheeks. And she said, "Please, Lord, help me to correct what is wrong. I do once more want to have the joy, and I want to see your smile again." I never thought about praying that way before. To ask Jesus, I know I've done wrong. I didn't really witness like I should today. Or maybe I said something wrong to my brother. Never. Or something, But we don't feel like we really see Jesus' face smiling. Do we ever go to bed that way sometimes and feel that way? I have before. And you're just like, oh, wow, But she did fall to sleep. And the next morning she got up. She had to do her chores. And she did that. And then something special happened in the afternoon. And that'll be next week's story, okay? We'll find out what extra special thing happened to Ella next week. Okay? We just have to wait a week. We love doing that to each other, don't we? Yes.